Surprise, surprise, another bad Final Fantasy game, another failure. Is anyone really surprised? The only good current Final Fantasy title was Final Fantasy VII Remake, but you don't get points for that. How can you screw it up? All you gotta do is make a better combat system, better graphics, and just do things slightly different than the original. But again, they're not getting points for making a next generation Final Fantasy VII a good game. So where do I begin with Final Fantasy XVI? Boy oh boy, let's start with the graphics. A Final Fantasy XII cuck had to have created these graphics because it looks just like a slightly better, more upscaled version of Final Fantasy XII. Just slightly. Playing this game, I am not getting that this was designed with the PlayStation 5 in mind. There's no way. There's PlayStation 4 titles that look better. This looks like a PlayStation 4 game that was upgraded to the PlayStation 5, if I can even call it that. Like for example, Demon's Souls is graphically superior to Elden Ring because Demon's Souls was made to take the full power of the PlayStation 5, whereas Elden Ring was designed for the PlayStation 4 with the PlayStation 5 in mind. It just looks so blocky and blah. It just like I said, it just doesn't look like this was created solely for the PlayStation 5. It doesn't look like they're utilizing all of the PlayStation 5's power. Like look at Final Fantasy VII Remake. Again, I have to mention Final Fantasy VII because if you look at it on the PlayStation 5, a game that was originally created for the PlayStation 4, it looks amazing. It looks beautiful. It looks colorful. It looks lively. This game, it's horrible. It's just horrible. But graphics don't make the game. Graphics should be the secondary to gameplay. But again, when we're talking about a next generation title for the PlayStation 5, I'm thinking for something that looks a little bit better than this, a lot better than this. The faces of the characters just utterly creep me out. They got those weird, scary, blank Final Fantasy XII, creepy, old-fashioned Victorian dolls kind of look to their face. It's just scary and I don't like it. Your opinion is wrong on this. I don't care. Come fight me. I bench 120 pounds every day. There was even frame rate issues during one of the cinematics. Where there was like a lot of those cheesy slowdown effects that you see in those cheesy action films where a big boulder is about to crush the character and it slows down and out of nowhere they just rush out really quick. Just really cheesy and corny, just like the dialogue. The dialogue is also corny and cheesy. If you ever played Final Fantasy Strangers in Paradise, it's kind of like that kind of cringe. The way they talk to each other, I would just rather have them be silent like in Final Fantasy Tactics and let me create the voices in my own head because I create great dialogue. Just like in this video, I talk with perfection and I will do any of this dialogue justice. Quick, grab my sword. The knights are coming in me. And then a lot of the characters, they just curse a lot. They drop a lot of F-bombs to make us feel that this game is mature. The combat also leaves a lot to be desired. This is supposed to be an action-oriented game, more so than any other Final Fantasy game. Yet, it feels bare bones, like a bare bones God of War. It just leaves a lot to be desired. Matter of fact, it'll be more action-packed and thrilling fighting the cucks that disagree with this review, as opposed to playing the actual game. Even in the introduction Eldion battle, where you have Ifrit and Phoenix fighting each other, it is one of the most basic rail shooters that you can imagine. You have Ifrit casting one attack, Phoenix casting one attack, and you have to dodge it, and it's just a real Rails-on experience. Then you might be saying, Mr. Play, you're only playing a 2-hour demo. You're only playing 2 hours of the game. Well, let me ask you, would you sit down and listen to a 2-hour YouTube video where somebody tells you, just listen to the first 2 hours. I know it's boring. I know it's uninteresting, but if you can make it for the first 2 hours of the video, you're going to be in for a real surprise. I don't see any of you lasting 30 seconds into a boring YouTube video. So why am I going to spend 2 hours playing a boring game? A game has to captivate me from the start in order for me to continue playing. This is just a over-glorified Final Fantasy XII. That's all it is. Final Fantasy XII sucked. Final Fantasy XV sucked. Final Fantasy XIII sucked. Final Fantasy X sucked. But I'm not going to talk about 10. So we're just going to ignore that, because I know there are some people with rose-tinted goggles that'll really bring out the pitchforks when it comes to Final Fantasy X. Not scared of any of you. You can come fight me, but you don't really want to mess with some of the old school classics like Final Fantasy X. But really, Final Fantasy XII to Final Fantasy XV were hot garbage, and Final Fantasy XVI is looking like to be really no different. And luckily for me, I did not pre-order this game, and it looks like a lot of other people didn't, because it looks like Square is a little disappointed that not a lot of people are pre-ordering this game. And I really can't blame them for Square's track record lately. You had one good game currently out of like 5 or 6 recent Square games. So you really can't blame people for not pre-ordering. And I really don't see them getting my money after playing this demo. I have to be captivated from the start. Now, I made this video knowing full well I'm going to get ratioed, probably more so than I've ever been ratioed before, because I am giving a game a bad review during the honeymoon phase. The honeymoon phase is when that first 30 days you cannot badmouth any game, because for some reason that first 30 days has these crazed supporters. But after the 30 days ends, you'll slowly start to see people will start saying, this game's boring, this game sucks. Like Final Fantasy XV, during the first 30 days, everybody said, this is the best Final Fantasy ever. You talk trash about it, we're going to pop you in the mouth. But 30 days later, for some reason, people started saying, hey, this game is really bad. But it doesn't matter if it's the honeymoon phase or the 30 days after that. I speak how I want. I talk how I want, and I give my opinion how I want. That's what separates me from your favorite YouTuber. Your favorite YouTuber is afraid to lose subscribers because they don't want to speak their mind. I will speak my mind even if I have -1 subscriber. Because again, at the end of the day, you can come fight me. I bench at least 120, 130 every day. So, don't like it? You can suck my...